Bob Kellar.
Sweet Lord.
Sweet Lord.
Sweet Lord, Bob Kellar. If your definition of Newsmaker of the Year is an individual who makes the most news during the year, then Bob Kellar certainly earned this nomination. 2010 began with the nationwide attention focused on Bob's statements about illegal immigration. After his controversial comments made their way into the press and onto the internet, the rallies for and against Bob made even more headlines. Bob won some hearts and minds when he wound up on the short end of a 4-1 vote to break away from the county library system.
Regardless of what you think about some of the controversial things he's been involved in, there's no denying the passion that Bob brings to everything that he does on behalf of the community that he loves.
He's been in the hot seat a time or 2 or 3, and he stands by his convictions. Bob will make himself available for any cause he believes in, popular or not.
Bob Kellar's like Santa Clarita's James Brown. I mean, he's the busiest man in town. Every time I see him at a meeting, he's there and he contributes and he cares and he's passionate about whatever it is, whether it's the senior center or some other cause, but he's always got another meeting to go to. I would hate to be Bob Kellar's schedule maker.
Bob hosts an annual fundraiser for the Children's Foundation for Dental Health at his home every year. And many folks know him as the MC of the Elks Roast to benefit the Samuel Dixon Family Health Centers and the Celebrity Waiter Dinner to benefit services at the SCV Senior Center. Congratulations, Bob, on your nomination for Newsmaker of the Year.
Jim Ventress.
Jim Ventress is celebrating his 25th anniversary with the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Santa Clarita Valley. That's longer than we've even had a city of Santa Clarita. You know, Jim started with the SCV Youth Organization in 1985. Back then, the club served about 700 kids. Today, the number has more than tripled to nearly 2,500 at-risk and latchkey kids who have a safe and healthy alternative to whatever it is that they might otherwise do. Now, Jim was lured to the SCV from a club in Los Angeles with the idea of developing the SCV Boys and Girls Club board and developing a committee for a capital campaign to build the Newhall Club facility. The new Newhall Club opened for business in 1992. But Jim wasn't done. In an innovative public-private partnership with the City of Santa Clarita and the William S. Hart Union High School District, another new facility opened on the campus of Sierra Vista Junior High in Canyon Country.
Jim Ventress is one of the all-time good guys of the Santa Clarita Valley, and under his leadership, the Boys and Girls Club has done remarkably well at weathering the economic circumstances that we've all had to endure.
And I think Jim is just one of those people that you just automatically love him when you meet him.
I don't think there's anyone who has done more for children in the Santa Clarita Valley than Jim Ventress.
You want to know as a parent that your kids are as loved and well cared for and respected and regarded as the level that you provide to them. And with Jim, you absolutely get that.
And you know, it's also a little known fact that Jim and I are brothers. And you know, he insists that one of us is adopted, but I don't believe it.
Walk through one of our Boys and Girls Club facilities with Jim, and you'll see how the kids just flock to his side. Jim's skill at keeping it real earns him the respect not only of the kids, but also of the entire SCV. Providing a vital community service in the face of a poor economy, a nationwide drop-off in charitable giving, and rising costs makes Jim Ventress a natural nominee for Newsmaker of the Year.
Laurene Weste.
4-term councilwoman and mayor for 2010, Laurene Weste steered the ship of a city council that sailed through the year unscathed, except, of course, for some pretty ruckus city council meetings.
Laurene Weste is sort of like the Maggie Thatcher of the Santa Clarita Valley. She rules this area with a velvet fist, and in the last year, she has certainly had her share of controversies. Loreen has managed to lead this community with grace and with style, and always with a smile.
But the thing I like most about Loreen is that every time you see her, you feel like you're living in a small town again. You know, when I see Loreen, it's been a while, she comes up, she gives you a great big old hug and asks how you're doing, and she really cares.
Loreen's term as mayor may best be remembered as the time the city council voted to break from the Los Angeles County Public Library system and go its own way. But Loreen's personal efforts leave her an even more lasting legacy. The Open Space Preservation District, which is something Loreen championed, picked up its most significant addition to date with its acquisition of Ellesmere Canyon. Plenty of fun stuff happened on Loreen's watch. Our vegetarian city council member launched a new community garden at Central Park, complete with those pesticide and preservative-free vegetables that she likes so much. She helped spearhead the 4th of July parade again. She presided over the Friends of Hart Park. In case you wondered why Bill Hart, who died in 1946, was Grand Marshal of the 2010 4th of July parade. She helped with the Cowboy Festival and the Historical Society, and she almost saw one of her other dreams come true, a historic preservation ordinance. She's still got a little bit of work to do on that one, but in the meantime, she's nominated for 2010 Newsmaker of the Year.
Ken Pulskamp.
You want to know how to balance a budget in the middle of a recession? Call Ken Pulskamp. Want to know how to balance a budget in the middle of a recession and implement a 21-point business plan? And complete a major crosstown road? And stop a landfill forever by buying Ellesmere Canyon? And settle some lingering lawsuits with an option to own 1,000 acres of land? And fix up Old Town Newhall? And open a 25-acre park in Canyon Country? And create a cross-country track course in a community garden at Central Park in Saugus? And install some solar panels in your bus yard? And open a one-stop permit shop at City Hall? And expand your enterprise zone to save businesses $56 million? And award $665,000 in green energy grants? And collaborate with COC to help 17,000 people get a job through the WorkSource Center? And give out free flu shots and wipe out graffiti within 24 hours? And sweep the streets and fill the potholes and make over entire neighborhoods? And lay the groundwork to establish your own library system? And start building a brand new $25 million library? And keep 350 employees happy while you're freezing their salaries and piling on the work? Call Ken Pulskamp.
Ken brings a lot of smarts to the job of city manager. He's a super bright guy, and he's also a forward thinker. He's open-minded, and he's willing to try new things. And under his leadership, the city of Santa Clarita has become one of the best-run cities in Southern California.
While cities across the country teeter on the brink of bankruptcy, the city of Santa Clarita is one of the few places where fiscal health is practiced and preserved thanks to city manager Ken Pulskamp.
Santa Clarita is a great place to live, work, shop, and play, and that is why Ken Pulskamp is nominated for Newsmaker of the Year.
Dr. Judy Fish.
In an era when schools throughout the state and nation are throwing their hands into the air, wondering how to pay their teachers and keep their classrooms open, the Santa Clarita Valley has Judy Fish. Judy is a dynamo who will bowl you over with her can-do attitude. Judy isn't the type of person who complains that the sky is falling and just waits for it to land on her head. She's a creative thinker who blows up the boxes so her students can achieve in spite of the odds.
The opening of West Creek Academy, a performing arts school, is just one example of the forward thinking of the Saugus Union School District, and Dr. Fish deserves a lot of credit for that.
The neatest thing about Dr. Fish was the day the school opened, she actually got out and played the cello with the students, and she had just learned how to do it, just emphasizing her passion and her interest and her commitment to always learning and always improving herself.
And I can also speak as a parent. Both of my kids have gone through the Saugus School District, and the standards are excellent, and I believe that starts at the top with Judy Fish.
You just know that with Judy steering the ship, it's going to make it through the storming waters. And challenges in education nowadays are tremendous, and to have had somebody like Judy at the helm of the Saugus Union School District for so long, super fortunate to have had her in that position.
Judy's retiring now after 38 years in public education, 11 years at the helm of the Saugus Union School District, and the SCV is going to miss her. She's leaving behind a trail of distinguished schools in her wake, and while she's traveling in Europe, there are several charitable boards, including Henry Mayo Hospital Board, that will have to figure out what to do without her too. For never letting a challenge stand in her way, and for her service to Saugus and the entire SCV, Dr. Judy Fish is nominated for Newsmaker of the Year.